There are 10 key elements that you should always include in your marketing, all of your marketing efforts. Doesn't matter if it's a flyer, a talk, whatever, you should always include these 10 key elements in your marketing. Now, the reason you should include them is because of the way the human brain has evolved. Because basically, as I've said before in previous broadcasts, there are three main elements to the human brain. There's the oldest bit, if you like, which is the reptilian brain, which is based on fear, and that's where fight and flight comes in. So as soon as our primitive forebears, saw something threatening, this is the bit of the brain that basically decides whether to stand and fight or to flee. The next bit to develop then was the mammalian brain, which is, as it would suggest, the higher order animals have this element in their brains as well. And this is based very much on emotions. And so it's the, Steve Peters calls it the chimp brain, the chimp paradox. This is the chimp bit. It's very emotional. And then the third bit to evolve, which we have in far more abundance than any other species, is this neocortex, which is very well developed in humans, obviously. And that's where this is the sort of computer that guides, that decides and makes decisions on everything else. So it's the rational brain, if you like. But all three elements are important. Now, therefore, there are 10 key elements in all your marketing, and what I've tried to do is try and fit into where they fit in terms of the human brain. Now, to be honest, you may disagree with this because this is just sort of my interpretation, but I think it's a really interesting way of looking at it. But I'd obviously welcome your views and welcome your suggestions if you think it's it doesn't apply. So the first thing you need is a headline, and the headline is basically something that captures the attention of your target market. So straight away I should have said the most important thing, of course, to start with is your target market. You identify your target market and then you need a headline. Now the headline, the reason that works is because you should be trying to draw attention to the fact that the person you're trying to deal with, trying to sell to or market to, has an issue or a problem that they haven't got a solution to. So generally you're appealing to fear, which means generally you'd be appealing to this bit. You could be appealing to the emotional bit, the limbic brain, the mammalian brain. So your headline could be based on pleasure, but basically all the evidence is that fear and pain are more important than pleasure, twice as important. And therefore a headline that can highlight an issue, a concern, a problem, pain if you like, is much more likely to be successful. But the headline could be based on pleasure. But so I've put that in as appealing to fear. Now, the other two things that will appeal to the fear element, the most fundamental element, and this bit, by the way, is the most important, because if you can't overcome the fear element, you don't get on to dealing with the other bits. So the two other bits of fear will mainly be, are you trying to sell me something? Is it a good deal? Fear of failure, fear of criticism if I make the wrong decision. And the best way to overcome those fears is social proof here, i.e. I can prove that other people have used me or this service and I can prove that they're happy with it, so that reduces fear. And also a guarantee, any sort of guarantee that you can offer. Now the more powerful the guarantee, the more you remove the fear element. Now, in terms of a sales process, there's something I haven't included here because you couldn't really include that in a marketing piece, but if you were actually face to face with someone, you would. And that is the idea of rapport. So another fundamental bit in the fear element here is fear of being sold to, the salesperson alarm, Big Al, Tom Schreiter calls it. So rapport would come in here as well. But in terms of any marketing effort, your headline, your guarantee and your social proof would be aimed at overcoming the fear. Once you've overcome the fear, you can then move on to appealing to the emotions, and it's the emotions that make people buy. So the way you would make people anxious and wanting to buy is by stressing the benefits of your product or service, particularly if you can tailor make those benefits to that particular customer or type of customer. You could have an offer that's almost too good to be true, called a Godfather offer, an offer they can't refuse. The more attractive the offer is, the more it appeals to emotions. You could have a differentiator that sets you apart from the competition, and again, if you can show why you're better in some way than the competition, that appeals to the emotions. Now also that appeals to the rational brain, because when it comes to justifying your purchase decision, you want to be able to say why you've done it so that you escape criticism and you don't feel buyer's remorse. So this differentiator comes in there as well. And then you've got the call to action. Now the call to action, basically the way that works is it appeals to the emotions here, the mammalian brain, because it's an offer that's too good to be true, but if I don't act quick I won't get it. So it also appeals to the fear bit here, because it's an offer that's too good to be true, but if I don't act quick enough I won't get it. And it also appeals to the rational brain up here, because the rational brain will weigh up all the pros and cons, but may be prone to procrastinate, because they'll be thinking, well, is this a good deal or isn't it? So the call to action could stimulate the rational brain to think, okay, it's a good deal, and if we don't act quickly we lose it. So therefore the call to action stimulates the decision making process for the rational brain. So the call to action and the differentiator, they sort of act on more than one level, if you like. And then if we move up to the rational brain, the rational brain is the bit then that sort of justifies the buying decision. So that would be done on features. So we've sold it on benefits down here, but the rational brain will justify the purchase on features, and it'll also justify it on this other very important thing which a lot of people don't really see why you need, and it's called reasons why. And the reason you need this reasons why bit is because if you've got an offer here that's seen as almost too good to be true and you're selling all the benefits, the suspicion is if it's too good to be true, then it must be too good to be true. So you need to explain here to the rational brain why you can afford to make this offer and give this powerful guarantee here, which again might seem to be too good to be true. So the powerful offer and the powerful guarantee, you need to be able to reassure the rational mind that actually it's not too good to be true. So you need reasons why you can make such a powerful offer and reasons why you can give such a powerful guarantee. So you can see that these 10 key elements here, they basically address the sort of bits, the 3 bits of the brain that will be involved in the buying decision. I just think that's really interesting. I think it's interesting to know how our marketing efforts fit in with how the brain works, and how the 10 key elements here fit in with how the brain works. So because it was interesting, I thought I'd share it with you. Now, if you thought that was interesting and you thought you could use it in terms of your advice services, have a look at a short video on coachforprofit.com/Bernard. It's 8 minutes long, and if you think it's worth talking afterwards, then it'd be great if you could book a time. And also, one of the things that removes fear here, I've said here, is a powerful guarantee. So the way I use that is when I offer my coaching services to clients now, or when my team of coaches do, we train them how to do this as well. What we do is we offer a 200% return on investment guarantee, and we can prove how we can offer that. So we can prove it's not too good to be true. We can show reasons why, and the guarantee is if you don't get a 200% return on your investment through the advice and coaching you receive, then basically you don't pay us. So that's how that fits in to this schema here. So I hope you found that interesting and useful. Bernard Keavy showing how 10 key marketing and sales elements fit into the psychology of the human mind. Thanks very much for watching. I'm looking to recruit a business coach in order to help me handle existing global demand for business coaching services. And in particular, I'm looking for someone to run our Northeast US division. If you're interested in finding out more about this opportunity, which involves absolutely no financial risk or upfront investment, then go to coachforprofit.com/Bernard, watch a short 8-minute video, and if you think there's anything of interest there, then book a time and let's talk. And thank you very much for showing interest in this opportunity.